Welcome to the Softland Central podcast, your home for market entry knowledge and resources. Softland Central is brought to you by Softland Partners, an online marketplace to help you find best fit resources for your market entry. Find them at softlandpartners.com.
Right. So let's go in and talk about the L1 then. So can you give some depth to, so what are the parameters of an L1? What are the strengths of it for an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. So an L1 is for either an executive or someone who is a specially skilled employee to come from a company in a foreign country, anywhere in the world, that is legally affiliated with a company here in the United States. Maybe it's a subsidiary, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's just an affiliate. There are a variety of different ways, but it needs to be legally affiliated. And so they must have worked for the foreign company for at least 1 year in the last 3 years. And then they want to come to the US company. There is something known as the new office option. So, I own this company in country X. We have 12 employees. I want to launch the US branch, so I'm going to be coming over here to do that. That would be one example. Or, I have this company in the United Kingdom, let's say, and I want to start the US company, but I need one of my employees to come over and train some of the US employees for a short amount of time, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, something like that. That would be an example. Requirements would be there has to be a foreign company, always, always, always. If that foreign company closes, you're out. And then also you have to, whoever is going to be coming on the L1, whether that's an employee, an executive, the investor himself or herself, you have to have worked for the foreign company for at least 1 year in the last 3 years.
Got it. And is there a profile of entrepreneur that L1 is particularly geared for, or you would find best fit for?
The L1 is actually geared toward the larger company. It's my understanding that it was kind of originated for folks like Disney, Coca-Cola, Toyota, these types of places. Over the years, it has certainly seen many small businesses and medium sized, so that's not necessarily a deterrent. But the reason that this visa exists is for international employees. Apple, we have these people, they've worked in the Brazil office, now we need to move them to the US for X, Y, and Z reason, that kind of thing, usually. But again, it is possible for small and medium companies, but it really was kind of that international executive, we've got 35 offices around the world, I'm moving somebody to the San Diego office, that kind of thing.
And what do you find the weakness of the L1 is? What are the challenges with it typically?
I think the challenges are, first of all, you have to go through two different processes. You go through the USCIS, which is the Department of Homeland Security here in the US, and then you also go through the Department of State. So you go through the consulate or embassy in the country that you live in. So you kind of have two different processes that you have to get approved through. And they, believe it or not, do not have to agree with one another at all, in fact. So just because you pass one doesn't mean you're going to pass the other. I would also say that for the new business, so, I have this company, I want to start a new one, you have to renew within a year. So sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes that renewal is difficult because maybe the year, what if you did it this year, right? So we have some challenges economically and financially in the world. And so, maybe that's going to be a real problem for people who need to renew really quickly like that. So I would say those are the weaknesses. Also, depending on which type of L you get, whether you're an executive or whether you're a specially skilled person, they go for a number of years, but there's an end point. Either you kind of get the green card or you leave at some point. And for like the specially skilled, that would be very difficult to get a green card. So, it could be good if you think, hey, we're going to launch and we're going to have multiple employees, we're going to have revenues and all of that within a year. And I really need to be there for like 2 or 3 years to kind of get that going. And then I'm happy to leave. It may be a great option. But if you're concerned that it may take a few years to ramp up, if you're like, hey, I really want to be in the US like maybe like for a long time, maybe, or, that kind of thing, it may not be the best option.
Got it. Okay. Is there anything else about the L1 that would be important for entrepreneurs to know about?
I think that's a really great question, actually. I don't know, not that I can think of.
Okay, and I'm not suggesting that there is, but not being an expert myself, I wanted to make sure that we didn't leave anything out.
Yeah, I think the big ones there are, you need to keep the foreign company, and not just a name, right? There need to be employees in the foreign company, that the foreign company needs to go, as long as somebody's here on the L, and also, you need to have worked for that foreign company for at least one in the last 3 years. And the US company needs to be building relatively quickly in order to do the new office visa.
Sure. Yeah.